Hey, so welcome back, and this is another daily code problem. So today it was called removing stars from a string. And so this was a medium level question, and it's not too popular, but it's asked from Amazon. And so here you're given a string with just like lowercase characters as well as some stars here. And all that you want to do is whenever you see a star, you want to remove the character that's like immediately to the left of it. And so when you see this star, you would remove T, but when you see this star, because T was already removed, then you would remove E. And then say for this star, you would remove D. Okay, and then for this example, you're basically doing the exact same thing. So when you see this star, E gets crossed out, then the next one, S gets crossed out, the next one, A gets crossed out. It keeps going until, because there's 5 letters and 5 stars, you just cross out them all. All right, and so to how I approached this problem originally is I had a 2-pointer technique where I started from the left side, or the right side, sorry, and I kept traveling until I saw a star. And then I just maintained a second pointer. This is why it's like the 2-pointer technique, is I had another pointer that points to the first letter that comes after that star, which in this case would be D. And then I also kept a visit set. And so this visit set basically would allow you so that we could add every single character that this right pointer that we have here moves past. And so whenever we move past a letter, when we're moving this right pointer, I kind of just maintain this visit set. So we added all of these letters that we move past on. And so that allows us to construct the expected output that doesn't get popped off from these ampersands. But rather than doing this kind of 2-pointer approach, there's a better way that you can do it just using a stack. And just to show you the simplicity of the code, this was my 2-pointer technique, where just reading this, it kind of looks like spaghetti code, where you decrement and increment the indices. Isn't very intuitive just reading this. It's nice because you can see okay, it's easy to see okay, process when you don't have an ampersand, or I keep saying ampersand, but I mean wildcard or a star. Ampersands is the and symbol, like that. This is normally called a star or a wildcard. So whenever you see a wildcard, you'd process this and kind of decrement the left pointer and vice versa. So it's not terrible, but you can have a much simpler solution just using a stack, and it looks like this, and it's just 2 cases that you look for, and it's super intuitive. So to explain that, all that you're going to do is whenever you encounter a non-star, so you're going to go from left to right, and so whenever you see a letter in the alphabet, you add to the stack. But when you see a wildcard, you just pop from the stack. And so what that's going to look like is, as we're traveling from left to right here, is you do this is our stack that kind of goes up, is you're going to add L, right? And then you're going to add E to it, and then you're going to add the next E, and then you're going to add T. But now that we encountered this star, you're just going to pop whatever is off at the top of the stack, and that just handles so that you can pop whatever was the last character seen. And so then when you're at this wildcard, then you can pop what it had on the top of the stack, which is this E. And that's what the other letter that would have been immediately to the left of that star was. And then you can just add C then O, so C, O, and then you add D here. And so then you encounter another star, and so you can just pop off D from the top of the stack, which goes like that, and then you just add E. Okay, and that's just how you get this output of LeetCode here, just if you kind of read it upwards. And so because you're dealing with an array or a stack, you just have to convert it to a string just using a join method in Python, where you just join every single element in that array by by nothing. You could add a column if you wanted to, but it's just going to concatenate all of the elements in that array to a string. Okay, so let's go ahead and create our stack here. And we're going to return a string from the stack at the end of it. And so we want to process every single character in our string. We want to handle two cases. So if our character is not a star or a wildcard, then we want to add to our stack. So we just do stack and we just add to it our character. Sometimes this is a bit more readable for people that don't know Python. So we just want to add to our array or to our stack. And then otherwise, we want to handle the second case where, okay, when we encounter a wildcard, then we just want to pop off from our stack. Okay, and so let's run that. Accepted, and that's the solution. So super simple. It wasn't very intuitive for me to think of a stack. I immediately thought of a two-pointer method going from the right side to the left, but maybe if I had read it more like, just forward thinking, where I go from left to right, and how to handle that, maybe I would have thought of the stacks. So yeah, great stack problem. Awesome to have another example using stacks. Like often stacks are easy problems, so maybe that's why I didn't pick up on it. But yeah, the two-pointer method wasn't too bad either. So this was a O of n time complexity, since we just iterate through all the characters in the string once. And then it's also O of n space complexity, because in the worst case, you could just add every single character in the string to the stack. Okay, and that's the solution. So I hope that helps, and good luck with the rest of your algorithms. Thanks for watching.